Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my last manga reaction for today. Good to see you, Psycho. We went through not one, not two, but three reactions prior. So it's been a hefty manga reactions, a lot of different stories to take in, a lot of things to talk about for all of them. Now, finally, we are at the end of my manga reactions for today, but not the end of the reactions as a whole. Dragon Ball Super. Also, you have to pardon me, I took the boys outside, so that's the reason why I sound a little bit winded. It was a lot of running back and forth. It is hot outside, so yeah, you have to pardon me if I feel a little heated, just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back, pardon me, to yet another Dragon Ball Super chapter reaction and review. Last we left off, we were pretty much continuing the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie storyline, so let's see where this new chapter leads us to today. Chapter 96! Saiyaman on the scene, and we begin with Trunks.
Androids? Did that Hedo guy make them?
Why do you even know about that?
Because we fought some of his androids before. These must be different ones, though.
Huh?
Because Trunks is speaking to Bulma.
Anyway, Piccolo's in big trouble. If he's alone, the ones we ran into the other times were Piccolo's in big trouble if he's alone. The ones we ran into those other times were pretty strong.
Why did you keep this a secret?
Mom, you already forbade me from any more hero stuff, and it's not like you'd listen even if we did say anything.
That's on me then. If I had known, maybe we could have prevented this.
And we have Goten, who's on Nimbus.
Hey, Goten.
How's it going, Trunks?
Oh, hi, ma'am. We're gonna do some homework together. You two are no longer grounded. This situation is dire, so let's get out there and help Piccolo, okay?
Go show
them what you're made of.
Heck yeah, goes Trunks. Got it, Goten? Here's our chance to be the Saiyaman again.
Wait, why?
Word is, Hedo got out of the Slammer and teamed up with the Red Ribbon Army.
Whoa, no way.
Time to get going. Give me Piccolo's location already.
Huh? His location? Piccolo's chi is that way, I think?
No, it's this way. And both Trunks and Goten are pointing in different directions.
Oh, maybe it could also be in that direction.
No, that's Dende's.
You two, I swear, really stepping up when it counts, huh? Forget it, I'll just call him and ask. Let's see if he picks up.
And then there's an explosion because last we saw Piccolo came up out of the chasm when he was fighting Gamma 2 with a bigger, massive form. And everyone, including Gohan, is shocked to see this big explosion of power as he raises up out of this chasm. And then he lands in front of everyone, and he's just standing there, and he's just all pure muscle.
Nope, not picking up.
Actually, Krillin might know where the secret base is since he was put on that case.
Let's have him join us then, and 18 would also be good to have on board.
And then we have Gamma 2. And what's this supposed to be? And he charges up power in his fist. What's the big idea? And he hits Piccolo directly in his stomach, or directly in his midsection, but Piccolo does not even budge. Not even with that full powered attack. His clothes don't even part from the punch. And then Gamma 2 tries to hit Piccolo again, but Piccolo is indifferent to being hit by Gamma 2. And he's just standing there and taking it. And even Pan is shocked to see it. Dr. Hedo is all like,
how can this be?
And Gamma 2 is still hitting Piccolo.
Darn it!
And then Piccolo just slowly raises his fists. And with speed that even Gamma 2 can't even run from, Piccolo hits Gamma 2 with such force he gets sent flying all the way into the distance. And he's completely bodied. His face has an indent on the side of his face from where Piccolo hit him. And he's just laying there, shocking both Carmine and Magenta. And then Piccolo finally speaks.
Shenron wasn't kidding about that extra bit.
How?
Goes Dr. Hedo. And then we have all this, the Red Ribbon Army soldiers who are standing around Magenta.
You mooks just gonna stand there? Fill 'em full of lead!
As they all take aim at Piccolo. And they start shooting at Piccolo, and the bullets don't do anything. Piccolo was already bulletproof before, but he's even more bulletproof than ever before. And this scares Magenta.
Crap!
Commander, sir.
As the soldiers immediately start running away and they throw their guns behind them.
You know what this means.
As both Carmine and Magenta try to make for the escape plane.
What are they up to? What are they up to?
And then Pan, being stronger than the average human, even at 4 years old, I think she's 4, she breaks out of her cuffs, jumps off of the building, and starts chasing after Magenta. And we see some guards looking at her, and she just starts bodying the guards.
I won't let you get away!
Go on ahead, sir, you little pest.
As Carmine tries to shoot at Pan, and Pan just easily dodges the bullets. But she slips, and before Carmine can actually hit her, his gun gets shot out of his hand by Gamma 2.
Explain yourself, Gamma.
How dare you? As Gamma takes the gun he used to shoot Carmine's gun out of his hand and puts it back in his holster.
That settles it. I can tell which side fights for evil.
And then, before Carmine can do anything, he's surprised by Pan, who immediately decks him and just beats him up completely. And she lands a solid hit on his midsection and folds Carmine instantly.
Uncle!
Then we have Piccolo, who goes from his souped-up state into his normal state.
Good enough, Gohan. You can quit fighting.
Huh? As it shows Gohan just still fighting Gamma 1. Wait, what's going on?
Seems there were some misunderstandings on both sides.
And then both Gamma 2 acknowledges what Piccolo is saying, so Gamma 1 and 2 are pretty much no longer a major issue.
Not so fast!
As it shows Magenta riding a rail car down into the deepest parts of the base.
What are you planning? No, you wouldn't!
As it shows they're going around this big giant tank where Cell Max is supposed to be.
Bingo! I'm waking up on Pal Cell Max. That's absurdly foolish. The Gammas are still engaged in combat. You're the fool! Some slam dunk this was, huh? This mess is what I get for trusting you. The Gammas are just confused. They're having trouble seeing our enemies as wicked. Yeah, only because you had to fill their heads with crap about heroism. Truth is, I've been looking forward to snuffing you out.
As Magenta aims and shoots Dr. Hedo straight off of the subway car inside this lab. And he winds up hitting the ground completely. And then he stops. Then Magenta stops and starts typing on the keys. But we see Dr. Hedo just twirling right behind Magenta.
Dr. Hedo? Did you forget already? I've modified my skin to make it relatively resistant to kinetic impact.
And then Dr. Hedo takes off his entire lab outfit, and it shows an outfit that's akin to that of Clean God underneath, with a gun in hand.
That's so. Yeah, that does ring a bell. Now get away from the controls. Actually, I did something similar myself. What?
As Magenta grabs hold of a whole coat rack, and he pulls over a coat rack that's his size, and he takes off his suit and jacket and tie and everything because he doesn't want to mess up what he's got. And
may I shoot you now? Give me a sec, jeez, can't go ruining my fancy suit.
And he just takes off all of his fancy clothes, the upper half, to display that he has a cybernetic upper torso. The only thing that's not covered in metal is his neck and head and his hands.
there.
Huh?
Now, a smarty pants like you might not think much of my improvements, but I should still be tougher than you. Get ready to meet your maker.
Hachimaru!
And that same bee that has all that poison that you should avoid getting hit by lands on Magenta's neck and then just stings him. Ow, bit my tongue.
As I said, even someone with modifications is vulnerable to Hachimaru's toxin so long as human body parts remain. Your impressive financial resources were a dream come true for a scientist like me.
As it shows Magenta still writhing out in pain from this toxin.
I suppose I'll appropriate as much as I can before absconding with the Gammas.
And it shows Magenta inching closer and closer to the keyboard, and while he still has enough power to do so, he takes his fists and smashes the control panel that seems to activate Cell Max.
Huh? No! Now you've done it!
As air starts to and steam start to rush out of the cell for Cell Max. And then we cut to the outside of the base. What's up, number 2?
Looks like the weather's about to turn.
And then it shows a Capsule Corp ship landing in the outskirts, and it's Bulma and the crew.
There!
Huh? Oh, Gohan! It's not every day that you join a fight.
Huh? That voice.
Is that you, Gohan? Goten?
Where are your glasses, Daddy?
I tossed them aside earlier.
I brought some stellar backup for you guys, and one less than reliable cop. Believe it or not, the police have been trying to thwart the Red Ribbon Army's ambitions as best we could. Looks like Piccolo beat us to the punch at finding their secret base, though. Aw, look who's here. How are you, Pan?
And it's like, they're not really paying Krillin that much mind. And 18 chimes in.
And I suppose those are the new androids.
As both Gamma 1 and 2 look at her.
Oh, they look so cool! Yeah! Oh, they look so cool! Yeah!
Goes Trunks and Goten.
Do you guys have names?
We're the Gammas.
Are you friends or foes?
Wait, are these two really?
Yeah, that's Trunks and Goten.
They shot up like weeds since last I saw them.
So this is the first time that Piccolo is seeing Goten and Trunks after all these years. It's been a number of years. This is the first time he's seeing them, as teenagers. And then we cut to Gohan.
We Saiyans tend to remain short until we grow up all at once.
So, what's the sitch, Gohan? Weren't you just fighting them?
Goes Krillin to Gohan.
Excuse me?
Gah!
Oh, it's you, Krillin. Sorry, my eyes are awful without my glasses.
How did they get so bad? How did they get so bad? He's the only Saiyan whose eyesight is poor without glasses. And yet he's also known to have a greater potential than Goku, but his eyes is bad?
Oh, it's you, Krillin. Sorry, my eyes are awful without my glasses.
But your eyesight improves when you transform?
I guess so? Figure it out. Gohan, figure it out. So that you don't need glasses. You don't see Vegito sitting up with a good book with glasses on his face. You don't see that. But now we have Hedo, who's trying to stop everything.
Stop. Please stop. Please stop!
As more steam starts to rise up out of the hole that leads down to where Cell Max is.
I lost to Piccolo after he turned orange. Wait, orange?
Is that a new transformation, Piccolo? Goes Trunks and Goten respectively.
Huh? What's that now?
Yeah, you turned orange earlier when your chi skyrocketed.
I didn't realize. I must have had an awakening of sorts like you.
Yeah, it was the coolest, Piccolo!
Goes Pan.
You'll have to come up with a name like Super Saiyan.
A name? Must I? Fine, let's go with Orange Piccolo.
Wow, okay.
So now we have a name for it. It's called Orange Piccolo. I knew it was called Orange Piccolo, but I didn't want to say ahead of when it said so. But then something shoots off into the distance, and everyone knows it. Everyone notices.
What now?
As it shows Dr. Hedo in a lab that's kind of moderately flooded a little bit, and then we see a hand reach up out of this cage. Remember, this was like this big, round containment unit. That the upper half of that containment unit is what flew into the air. And we see Dr. Hedo looking at something making its way outside of this containment unit. And it's a giant creature that looks reminiscent to Imperfect Cell. And it just lets out a massive roar. And everyone hears it, and it's so loud everyone has to close their ears. And then we see something shoot off into the air, and it's Dr. Hedo.
Cell Max is activated!
And this surprises both Gamma 1 and 2. He is? And Cell Max is large. So large that while Dr. Hedo is flying away, Dr. Hedo looks like an actual small action figure compared to Cell Max's size.
Oh, great, a giant version of Cell?
Wait.
Wait, what? What are we looking at?
Oh, great, a giant version of Cell, goes Krillin and 18 respectively, and it shows Cell Max flying towards where everyone is, and he lets out this massive scream, and a whole explosion happens. It's like a explosive solar flare happens from Cell Max, and it also looks like it envelops Dr. Hedo. And there's just an explosion afterwards with everyone shielding everyone else because it's such a bright light. And the Gamma's going, Doctor! As they fly into the smoke. Where is he? Dr. Hedo! And then a hand comes through the smoke, and both Gammas manage to dodge out of the way, and they continue to dodge. And we have like the club tail of Cell Max as well as it almost hits the Gammas, and they land and they see Cell Max standing through the smoke. Crap! Number 2, to battle! And both the Gammas rush Cell Max. And they just start shooting at Cell Max. And Cell Max tries to retaliate, but they keep dodging away from him. And Gamma 1 goes in with a flying dive kick, but it barely does anything to Cell Max's face. And he just casually swats away Gamma 1. Just casually swats him away, sending him flying and even bruising up Gamma 1. And then sends Gamma 1 flying by swatting him with his tail. Shocking everyone. And then we get Piccolo who goes, let's go too!
Our whole investigation was meant to prevent this, but it looks like we're in for a battle anyway.
Here, Gohan, a sensu bean.
And then Gohan just flicks a sensu bean to Gohan, and Gohan looks like he gets it, and it bounces, and it... Oh my goodness, Gohan! I forgot that this stupid mess happened in the movie. I forgot that after Piccolo tossed Gohan a sensu bean, Gohan drops the sensu bean down in a crack in the ground. The person who has greater potential to be more powerful than Goku, everybody. Gohan. These Saiyans! I'm gonna move on because then I'm gonna get upset at Gohan all over again like I was at the beginning. I'm gonna get upset all over again if I just stay here. But he goes like, whoops! And then he drops it.
Did you just drop it?
Sorry, no glasses. You two are just fighting, right?
Take a break. We can tackle this one.
Goes Goten and Trunks. Huh? And then we get Goten and Trunks who land in front of Gohan and Piccolo.
Ready, Goten?
It's been so long.
Transform!
Here to mop up evil, leaving the world.
Cleaner than we found it. We're the cleanup heroes. Saiyaman X1.
Saiyaman X1.
And Saiyaman X2. On the scene.
And then Pan is the only one who's clapping because everyone else is unimpressed.
They're so cool! Really now?
Goes Bulma.
Do they realize this isn't playtime?
Let's go!
As both Trunks and Goten decide to join in the fight against Cell Max. And that's the end of the chapter. At least he didn't feed it to Cell Max. Good God. Oh, I still remember. Krillin, you got a sensu bean? Yeah, I do. Here you go. All right. Hey, Cell! Eat the sensu bean, even though you're on the precipice of destroying the world. Go! Yeah. What a chapter. It was a long one. How long was this? This was 45 pages. The chapters for Dragon Ball tend to be extremely long. That's the reason why it took me so long to go through the entirety of Dragon Ball Super. But, man, okay, this is really just telling the events of the movie. So what we can glean from this is that Piccolo's new form is called Orange Piccolo. Very creative. This man is a wordsmith. And it's enough to stand up against Gamma 2 without so much of a single scratch being on Piccolo, and he just one-shots him easily. Magenta finds out that, well, his plans are not going well, so he decides to try and escape, but he also tries to activate Cell Max, which he ends up doing, because at first he tries to kill Dr. Hedo, but it doesn't work because Dr. Hedo's body is pretty much functions the same way that the Black Panther habit does, where it just robs objects of kinetic impact, or it makes them fully resistant to kinetic impact. So if something hits him, it doesn't kill him. It gets robbed of its kinetic energy and it just bounces off, kind of like the Black Panther suit to a degree. And he winds up poisoning Magenta, but Magenta, with still enough sensibility, activates Cell Max, and now we have Cell Max who's trying to take on everyone, and apparently he's able to easily contend with the Gammas because he just swats away Gamma 1, and Gamma 1 is down for the count at the moment. But now we also have both Goten and Trunks assuming their Saiyaman outfits as they go and try to attack Cell Max. But those of us who watch the movie, we know how this is going to go. So overall, it was pretty all right. It was pretty good chapter considering that it's just basically following the story beats of the movie. So overall, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed myself. I really did. But there's not much else I can say about it because honestly, I've seen this already because I watched the movie. So it's not like we're experiencing anything relatively new. I won't go fully into spoilers because you never know. Not everyone has seen the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, so I won't say anything further than what the chapters will allow. But I'm really looking forward to when we're done with this arc and we can get to continue on the rest of Dragon Ball Super, because I feel once we get done with the whole Cell Max thing and the Red Ribbon Army thing, that's when we can get back to the real meat of the matter, the real concern, Frieza and his new black form, and whether or not Goku and Vegeta have reached a new level of strength in order to combat Black Frieza. So yeah, that's on my mind. But we'll figure it out. We'll see where things go. Hopefully, the next chapter we get will bring this whole thing to an end, because we covered a lot of ground with this one chapter, which was a whole chunk of the movie with just this one chapter alone. Hopefully, the next one we get, we'll be able to cover even more of the movie and maybe even bring this whole Red Ribbon Army Resurgence, Dr. Hedo, Cell Max arc to a close, so that way we can get on with the rest of Dragon Ball Super. How many more chapters of this arc? I don't know. I don't know how many more chapters are of this arc entirely, because I haven't been looking into it because I don't want to, overstep and see something that I don't want to see, even though I know the story beats. Hopefully it's just one or two. Hopefully Holster is just one or two. I'm hoping that the next chapter we get of Dragon Ball Super concludes this whole Cell Max business, and then we can move on to the rest of the story. And if not the next chapter, then the chapter afterwards. That's what I really hope. So that way we can get on to the rest of Super and find out what's going on in the world, the universe, what's going on with Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, Broly as well. So it's a lot of things that I really want them to cover, but first we got to get out of this whole Dragon Ball Super superhero movie arc. I still can't believe that out of all the movies and everything that we've witnessed, that the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie gets a whole dedicated set of chapters for it, but we couldn't get anything for Resurrection of F. We couldn't get anything for Dragon Ball Super Broly when he's first introduced into the series. But we get Dragon Ball Super superhero because of Gohan and Piccolo, but we can't get the one series. We can't get the one story where the legendary Super Saiyan is part of the super universe and how he came to fight Goku and Vegeta and all that nonsense and everything else. But we get to focus on the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, and that gets its whole set of chapters. I still don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of how this whole arc this movie gets its own dedicated arc in the official story, but we can't get how Frieza came back first time being resurrected thanks to the Dragon Balls or through the regeneration chamber, or how Broly got introduced to the super story. I don't know if I'm ever gonna feel like this was warranted. That's just how I feel about it. I still feel iffy about it because all the movies to get a manga arc dedicated to it, it's this one. Like, why? I don't know. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over it because it's set in stone now. Dragon Ball Super superhero is a canon movie, whereas Dragon Ball Super Broly and Resurrection of F, they're full-on stories that show what happened, but they're just mentioned in like 1 or 2 panels in the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super manga. So I still feel some type of way about that. So the sooner, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't wait for this arc to be over. Okay? I can't wait for this arc to be over. Because out of all the things to make into an entire arc, why did it have to be the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie? I'm just wondering. But I can't wait for this arc to be over so we can move on. That's how I feel about it. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen, with this chapter of Dragon Ball Super. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I cannot wait for it to end. So that way we can move on. Because we've been with this for a minute. And I cannot wait to go to someplace other than back to the Red Ribbon Army, Cell Max, or anything dealing with something I've already seen in a movie. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. But I'm done. I need to go ahead and finish my snack here. So that way I can get my reaction ready for the Black Myth Wukong gameplay video, and then we'll talk about that. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about that later on. So, all I can say to everyone right here, right now is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, because this not only helps the channel, but it also... it's also absolutely free. Like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. Let me eat my food here, and then I'll start up the stream so that we can react to the Black Myth Wukong gameplay showcase. Well, gameplay preview from IGN. But I'll see you guys in a little bit.